Coach, it's awesome to hear you break down the games, and it's great to hear the insight that you have, obviously, on the coaches and players. But one thing that I wanted to talk to you about in meeting with you weekly or chatting with you weekly is building a program. Obviously, you want to get back into the game, and wherever you get, it's going to be either an established program or one that needs some reconstruction. But what are some of the things that you install right when you get on the job, whether it is an established program or it's not? What are some of the things that you were looking to base your program off of wherever you land next?
Well, it won't be established. I can tell you that. But I mean, look, I think it's different. You can't build a program anymore. You got to build a team every year. Like, that's just the way it is with the portal and all that stuff. If you're trying to build a program, the kids are going to transfer before they get any good. So I think every situation's unique, every job's unique, and you got to figure out, how you can win at that place, whatever it may be. And then, I mean, everybody talks about culture and all that. Culture is a bunch of bullshit. Like, just win. You got to win, period. You got to find a way to win. How can you win? Good culture is winning. Everybody's happy when you win. When you lose, everything goes haywire. You hear from people. Everybody's got ideas, all that sort of stuff. Whatever you're doing, as long as you're winning, it doesn't matter. That's culture, is winning. All this other junk and all that stuff, that just kind of, it is what it is. But that just kind of plays into it. But can you win, and what do you need to do to win? I mean, if you don't have good players, you're not winning. You can have all the best culture in the world. I mean, Houston's got incredible culture, and I love what they do, and I love how they do it and how hard. But that doesn't work without the good players and the winning. Yeah. They would revolt if they were doing that and going 15-15 every year. Right? I mean, that's just the way it works. And so I always say you can always ease up. It's really hard to start easy and get harder. So you need to take a hard line when you first get there, and then you can ease up if you start trusting them. But you got to figure out what you have to do to win, and win immediately. I mean, people are not that patient anymore, and so it's all about figuring out what you have to do at that situation with the resources that you have to be able to position yourself to win. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. You don't have time to develop all this stuff. The kids are going to be gone. People are going to be impatient, and you've got to have everything go right if you're going to develop something over a 3 or 4 year period. You got to have everything go right. You got to have kids stick with you. You got to have no injuries. You've got to have great development stuff, and you just got to have everything go right. And as you know, in life, most of the time everything doesn't go right. And so you better figure out how you can win there and go win. And so that's, look, if I'm fortunate enough to be back, we'll figure out how to win at where we are and go win. We're not going to try to, we've got basics of what we do. We're going to, we over me, respect, our basketball identity, body, mind, nutrition. Those were kind of our four pillars of what we did. And so, those don't really change. That kind of makes up who we are. But it's really just, how can you win, and what are your standards? It's like I tell our guys all the time, everybody practices, everybody watches film, everybody, gets in and shoots extra at this level. Everybody goes to the training room. It's the standard at which you do those things that separate the people that win and lose. Even the losing teams are doing all that stuff. So it's the standard at which you do that stuff, the discipline, the consistency that you do with which you do that stuff, that determines who wins and who loses. If you have low standards, you're not going to win. If you have high standards, it gives you a chance to win. Doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but low standards certainly guarantee you're going to lose. And so that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's pretty simple. Can you go in there and establish that stuff? And you got to build your team year to year. You can't think 2 and 3 years down the road. That's just not the way it works today. What can you do to win this year? And then after that year, you'll figure it out next year. That year we lost Watford and Cam and all those guys, like it was too, everybody, what are you going to do? We're going to get in the portal and we're going to build a team that can win now. It's not that hard. We'll go figure it out. We didn't have a whole lot of guys back. You go figure it out. And we missed on some kids, and it doesn't always work out perfect. But if you hit on enough, it'll work. It's like it's like the lottery. You have enough ping pong balls in there to get out a couple good ones.
Yeah.
And have a good couple numbers. So I think it's the modern basketball's changed for better or worse. People can complain about it all they want, but at the end of the day, that's what it's about.